Hello guys, welcome to today's video, and today I'm going to review, document, and sound demo this really cool guitar right here. This is the Epiphone Brendon Small Ghosthorse guitar. It is very different from the other Brendon Small guitars that Epiphone and Gibson have put out, so let's get right into this. The first main difference between this guitar and the other Brendon Small guitars is that this guitar comes with a floating bridge. So right out of the factory, this guitar comes equipped with a Floyd Rose 1000 bridge. The pickups, however, are the same as with the other Brendon Small guitars. So basically Gibson burst buckers 1 and 2, which sound really good. I see why Brendon Small doesn't change his formula around too much with his newer guitars, because again, these pickups not only sound great, but they're insanely versatile. You can turn them into single coil using the push-pull pots that come with this guitar, as well as each knob not only controls volume, but also tone at a fixed ratio. So again, great pickups, great sounding. And the other main difference between this guitar and other Brendon Small guitars is that this guitar comes with 24 frets, where the other ones come with 22. It also has a really cool Icarus logo on the 12th fret, which just goes to show that this guitar is more of a Galaktikon guitar than a Metalocalypse guitar. The body on this guitar comes with a flame maple top veneer, which is insanely active. The pattern on the top looks different from almost every different angle, and it's one of those guitars you just have to see in person to truly appreciate the beauty of. I don't think the stock photos do it justice, because it looks so much better in person, where in the stock photos it just looks kind of grayish. In person it actually looks kind of blue and greenish. It's like a space burst, which again, you just have to see this guitar in person to truly appreciate the beauty of. The fretboard material in this guitar is ebony, which looks really dark and rich. The fretboard overall looks like a really good quality fretboard, with a few QC exceptions that I will get to in just a few minutes. The fret markers you guys see on the fretboard are just acrylic. They're nothing fancy, which they don't even shine that well except for maybe the 12th fret, which was obviously made to, the 12th fret marker I should say, which was obviously made to stand out a lot more than the other fret markers on the fretboard. The fret markers are also apparent on the top of the binding of the neck, which they're just your stock Epiphone fret markers. They're not lumen layer or anything special. For what it's worth, I mean, they look fine. They just look pretty stock in my opinion. The back of the headstock has Brendon Small signature on the left, the Icarus logo on the right, and a little Allen wrench holder under the tuners, which can be a lifesaver when you're playing a guitar that has a Floyd Rose. The back of the neck and the back of the body are satin black, which feel really nice, as well as the neck joint on this guitar has an extra axis carving. So it's very well thought of that they put this on this guitar, because it helps reach the higher frets. Obviously, if they're going to add 2 more frets, they thought we need an extra axis carving to reach those extra frets. Another cool feature that I'm pretty sure was unintentional with this guitar is the reflection the guitar gives off when it's being shined on with bright light is a really cool ambiguous figure. You guys will see me shine this against the wall here. In my opinion, it looks like a little, well, not a little, it looks like a Viking riding a horse, but again, it is an ambiguous figure, so I'm seeing what I want to see. Either way, it looks cool. Here's another shot of that extra axis carving. This does feel good when you play standing up or when you're sitting down. It really does help reach the higher frets. So like I stated earlier, it's very well thought of that they added this just to reach the higher frets, and honestly, overall, this is a very well thought of guitar. To be completely honest, I would have just rather have had Epiphone or Gibson re-release a Thunder Horse with 24 frets, but this guitar is really good and very unique in its own sense, but it's not necessarily what I would have wanted. But again, it's a really good guitar, so I don't know why I'm bitching, to be honest. These guitars went for $799 US dollars new when they first came out, but they sold out pretty quick. Guitar Center has stated that they're gonna restock this guitar and they're just gonna, have it on back order, but who knows if they're really gonna do that, or if Brendon Small is just gonna move on and make another signature series guitar. But I have seen this guitar, the price of, I should say, skyrocket in the used market, and I think people just in a way think that this guitar is not going to get re-released, so they're just buying it, thinking it's not going to come out again, and they're just going to miss out on a really good guitar. But either way, I don't plan on keeping this guitar. The headstock logo does luster, but only from a certain angle. It's very weird. I would have wanted Epiphone to use their shiniest, I don't even know if that's pearl, but their shiniest whatever they use to make the logo stand out at least, since the inlays don't really shine that well. But you know, it looks fine. Again, I don't know why I'm bitching so much. I think I'm just bitter that they didn't just re-release the Thunderhorse with 24 frets, or at least a version of this guitar that didn't have a Floyd Rose. Back when I had the Thunderhorse, it was the one guitar that was different from all my other guitars, because all my guitars have Floyd Roses, and now that I don't have the Thunderhorse and I got this guitar, it feels like I just have one more of the same, if that makes any sense. But yeah, so before I get into the tone test demo, I'm gonna get into some QC issues that basically made me not want to keep this guitar. So first of all, take a look at the fretboard and tell me if you see anything weird or strange. Do you guys see it? There's a crack on the fretboard that runs from the 11th fret all the way down to the rest of the fretboard. It is fucking amazing that this guitar passed inspection, because as you guys saw earlier on the back of the headstock, it had the seal, the sticker of approval from Epiphone that this guitar was inspected. I don't know, this is one of those reasons why I don't really have that many Gibsons or Epiphones, but you know, the Thunderhorse was an exception when I had it, and this guitar just kind of threw me back in that mentality of not liking Epiphones or Gibsons. Also, on the 12th fret, you can still see some of the fret glue on top there. I'm going to try to zoom in and show you guys, but it's hard to capture on camera. If you guys can see right under the Icarus logo. I also found tool markings on the neck joint, as you guys can see there, so they're not that big. It's not that big of an issue, and I am being nitpicky here, but you know, I'm just trying to cover my bases so I can inform you guys better of what you're going to get if you get one of these guitars. Also, the Floyd Rose is on top of the body. If you pull it back hard enough, it is going to scratch up against the body of the guitar, so I'm just letting you guys know. There's also glue marks like right there, as well as on the headstock, as you guys will see here in just a few minutes. So those are just some of the QC things that I found. Hopefully this is a guitar that, the only guitar that has these issues, but if you guys experience these, please tell me in the comments. Okay guys, so initial thoughts on this guitar. It is a bit heavy, but it is very comfortable. It is almost as comfortable as the Thunderhorse, but this guitar is a little heavier than that guitar. And towards the end of the tone test demo, you guys saw that this guitar went out of tune. To be fair, it wasn't the Floyd Rose's fault. I had put new strings on this guitar, so I think I just stretched them out, if that makes any sense. Also, the satin neck feels really good. It feels really smooth. It almost feels like the neck is unfinished. This guitar also sounds amazing. The pickups sound great and they're insanely versatile, as I stated earlier. And the Floyd Rose, I didn't see a problem with it in terms of, it didn't feel that much different from my other Floyd Rose guitars. But the fact that it's mounted on top of the body makes it so that you can do dive bombs, but you can't do dime bag squeals like when you pull the whammy bar. You can't really pull it that far back because again it'll scratch up against the body of the guitar. But yeah, it is a really good guitar. Again, if it was like a set bridge or it didn't have the QC issues, I would have totally kept this guitar. But I'm gonna sell it. I'm not gonna make much profit off of it because if potential buyers see the QC issues, they're not gonna want to pay more than what I paid for it. They'll want a little discount, and at best I'm just gonna get my money back. I didn't return this guitar. I did buy it new, but I didn't return it because I was afraid that if I returned it, I just wasn't gonna be able to get another one. And as far as right now, that seems to be true. These guitars are still on back order. They've been sold out for the better part of 2022. If I ever find one of these guitars that doesn't have any of the QC issues, I am totally gonna buy it and keep it. But as far as right now, yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to keep this one for sure. I'm going to disclose the QC issues, and maybe some potential buyer out there is going to want it with the QC issues. Maybe he'll think that these guitars are not going to be made again, so that's going to be my business strategy. I'm not being dishonest. All the QC issues are going to be on the description, but yeah, again, I'm just going to make my money back, and I'll be happy to have owned this guitar even for a little bit and to document it for you guys, so I'm happy with that. These guitars also come with a case. They come with what Epiphone calls an Epi-Lite case. If you've ever owned a Dean Racerback, it's very similar to the cases that come with it. So they're pretty decent quality, but they're not the best. The guitar still wiggles around in there a bit, and it's not as secure. I would have liked for these guitars to have come with a gig bag like the Thunderhorse did, but at the end of the day, they're fine. Okay guys, so final thoughts on this guitar. In terms of aesthetics, I would give it an 8.8 out of 10. It looks freaking beautiful, more so in person than in the stock photos. In terms of construction, I think at best I could give it a 7. Again, the QC issues just turn me off a lot, and it's one of the reasons I usually never buy Epiphones or Gibsons. In terms of feel, I would give this guitar an 8.5 out of 10. It feels really good. It sounds freaking amazing. I guess I'm going into the sound more now. So in terms of sound, I give it an 8.9 out of 10. These pickups sound great, and they're insanely versatile. Overall, I have mixed feelings about this guitar. I really like it, but I start remembering the QC issues, and I'm just like, yeah, I can live without it. So those are my thoughts on this guitar. Again, in the future, I might get one of these, or hopefully Brendon Small re-releases a Thunderhorse with 24 frets. I don't know, I'm just crossing my fingers. Or maybe one of the newer Epiphones or Gibsons by Brendon Small will have all the things that I've been wanting out of this guitar. But yeah, that's all I have for this guitar. It looks great, it sounds great, just those QC issues, man. Okay guys, so lastly I'm just going to show you what comes with this guitar. So basically an Epiphone sticker, a lifetime warranty little pamphlet by Grover Tuners, the whammy bar, the Allen wrenches, and a manual by Epiphone. As of this video coming out, I already sold this guitar, and the buyer is happy with this guitar even though the QC issue things. But it seems like it's just a win-win for everybody. I get my money back. This guy gets a guitar that is sold out. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have questions, comments, or concerns regarding this guitar, drop them in the comments and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Besides that, you guys stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much.